Hi, Purpose Partner. Welcome to another episode of Rise to Your Purpose, a personal and spiritual development podcast for female entrepreneurs with a mission. We are your hosts, Brandie and Natalie.
We are founders of Victorious Entrepreneurs Rising, where we guide women to build profitable businesses online through diversifying your income, using kingdom principles in marketing, and operating in a spirit of rest so that you can create kingdom impact.
After this episode, be sure to join our Purpose Partner Facebook community and get your copy of our Rise to Your Purpose devotional so we can continue to serve you as we partner together in our faith and business. Let's dive into today's episode.
I'm really excited for this training. I've felt very convicted to do this training, but also been praying about it a lot. And so I've really been just taking time to soak in the Lord and really just let him kind of guide this training today and just what I'll share about. So I just feel like there's been, from working with so many different women, there's so many that just don't, one, see the capability, the potential, the possibility, or aren't putting in what they actually can to make it happen. And then there's those that just want to make it happen, but just really aren't sure how to make it happen. And there's so many things, right, vying for your attention and so much marketing out there. So it's like, what do we listen to? And so I want to just come in here and share with you my experience, my journey, and also give you some great advice on how you can move forward and just what should those kind of action steps be daily, and what can you be focusing on, what's important, and to help you get more clarity around your calling and around your purpose for and behind your business. So I'm excited to dive in today because I have a call for you for wholehearted commitment. And that came from when I was reading in Deuteronomy. So I'm so glad you're here. Again, welcome to Purpose Partners, to our community here where we partner together in faith and business. If we are just getting connected, I'm excited to meet you. I'm Natalie Lawson. I'm the co-founder of Victorious Entrepreneurs Rising, along with my sister Brandie, and co-founder of the Rise to Your Purpose program, devotional, and podcast. I'm also the founding ambassador of Girl Power Alliance and on the field advisory board there, and also have a high ticket wellness business. So I am in the trenches with you ladies. I am not speaking from past experience. I am speaking from past and present. And so I've been in the network marketing profession and pursuing it since 2011. My passion and vision for the really sprouted around 2015. I was a few months into what I believed at that time was kind of like my forever home in the profession. But a seed had definitely been planted just from watching my mom grow up, and was in did some things within network marketing as well. So I always felt like there was something there, but I didn't really know it. And then that vision was truly casted. And so if you're in this group, it's because you're a Jesus loving boss babe and you love being all about Jesus and you want to keep Christ at the center of everything, but you also want to get down to business. And so I don't know about you, but that was always what I was like, man, I wish there was a group for women in network marketing where we could talk all about Jesus and our faith and bring him in to all that we're doing, but also really talk about business and like, how do we make this thing work? Right. So that's what you're going to get when you come into our group. And what God has really highlighted to me over the last several years, and just what I started noticing, was how many biblical principles there are in building your business. And God just kept revealing and continues to reveal scripture to me where I'm like, whoa, like that right there just tells me how I should be leading in my business. That tells me how I should be stewarding the money in my business. That tells me how and where I get my confidence from for my business. So I just see it really like going in and infusing. And so I think that's just a gift that we have and that we want to bring into the marketplace, is really helping women to partner with God in their business and really be able to build through biblical principles. So that way you can be in alignment with your own goals and your vision, and really not getting caught up in that hustle and grind and that burnout and resentment that can come so easily within the network marketing profession or any type of online business, right? And so we want you to be able to, our passion is really bringing you kingdom driven business strategies and purposeful coaching so that you can learn how to partner with God in your business, share your faith on social, and really build a business and from a spirit of rest that is profitable so that you can rise to your purpose and pursue those God-sized dreams. And that is what we're all about. So just to give you a little bit background, so you kind of know also just more about me, right? You always have to kind of develop that trust with people that you're working with. And so I do have 11 years within the teaching and education profession. I did Teach for America as well for 2 years, and I was teacher of the year in my first year of teaching. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Skylar. And, we talk about your why a lot all the time. And I want to ask you guys, like, do you know what your why is? Because it really is true of how important it is that you know it so clearly, that you can cast that vision for your life and for your family and for what is truly possible. If you know you're made for more and you are in this profession, and maybe you've had ups and downs and trials with it, right? But you're still here, you've been called here, right? There's still something inside of you that is like, I know this is hard, or I know it's taking me longer than I want it to, but I still have this kind of yearning and desire. It's there for a purpose. And like, God has called you here, and this is a gift he's giving you. And so that's why it's so important that we seek him on, Lord, what do you want for me with this business? What do you want me to be able to do? And help me to be able to do it, right? Lord, expand my borders, enlarge my territories. And so my husband it started out with one, I was in teaching. I had like a quarter life crisis, and I knew I was like, I do not want to teach forever. I was like, I need another solution. And I did not want to go back to school. I looked at every possibility that I could do, and nothing really lit me up. And until I saw network marketing again and saw the company and the business, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. And I prayed over it. Like that night, I was like, all right, this is it. And I grew really quickly in that company. I was there, joined in late, like November 2014, and grew that to where I was like, this is going to help me be able to quit teaching. This is going to be able to pay off my student loan debt. I'm going to quit working my random jobs I was working because I was living paycheck to paycheck. And I thought, how on earth am I 25 years old living paycheck to paycheck and feeling like I have no way to like hardly save? How on earth am I going to be a mom and have kids and have this teaching salary and make it all work? And I know that people do, but I was like, I knew I wanted more, and I didn't want to live in the struggle that I saw my parents have after my dad losing his job, and that struggle of going into debt, not being able to afford things. And a lot of that also comes with, you guys, you have to build your mindset around money. Like, it is so key, because that was another thing I realized was like, it wasn't that I couldn't afford things, it was that I had a lack mentality. I was in a poverty mindset. But the network marketing profession has been something that has been a huge blessing, because I've been able to experience that residual life of knowing that about every month, like what I'm going to be able to make. And that has helped us get out of debt. We don't have any debt other than just like a few random bills and things for my husband's business. But all of our main debt is gone, and it allowed me to replace his income. Like I'm married to my high school sweetheart. I think I said that. So Skylar, he was hating his job. He was working in advertising, and he was ready to like be done. And he was working all the time on his own dreams, his dreams in filmmaking and composing music. I mean, he's so gifted. And so I was like, I want to, like, what if I could help him quit his job? And so like 2 months after we got married, he resigned from teaching. That was a little over a year of me building that business. And so so that was like a huge thing. And it really just continued to cast that vision. But I will tell you, even though I had a lot of success, like I earned the Lexus car, I went on all the trips and had the cash bonuses and awards and things like that. But I still, even though I was still going through my own struggles, and I never did I was in the top 2%, but could never get into the top of the company. And I was like, what is going on? I'm putting in this work, I'm talking to these people, I'm doing all the things, right? Do you ever feel like you're doing all the things and you're like, why is this not working? Like, why is this not growing? And so I was like going after everything. Like, I was definitely shiny object syndrome girl. And so but I also was a leader. So I thought like, because I could see a shift, we kind of started out building old school, like having tons of home parties, tons of marketing events. I was always traveling. And so I knew, I was like, this is not sustainable. And like, we want to build a sustainable long-term business, right? And so I knew I had to start shifting to building on social media and learning online marketing. And so there's so much out there vying for your attention. There's so much out there to market to you and tell you how to build your business. And one thing that I learned that I can tell you guys is that before you start going every which direction, and I will say I've spent thousands of dollars on trainings and investings and programs, and I don't regret it because they've all been a stepping stone in my journey. And that's all what has led me to where I am today and made it possible. And I was always willing to go first. I'm like, I'm willing to go first. I'm willing to test it out and try it out and then take it back. If it works, I can take it back to my team and help them. But this is why I'm also here for you guys, is because I want to share with you some of the battles that I had or the road that I took, because hopefully that can help you eliminate some of the heartache or some of the headaches that can come along the way, but also really just talk to you about it real, because there are things out there that are going to tell you build your business with automation, have thousands of leads coming into your business. Look at how I recruit 150 people every month into my business or into my team, or, there's going to be all these things, right? Saying like, this is how I made $10,000 in 6 months, right? So I've seen people do it two ways. I've definitely seen it. I mean, within my company, everybody was sprouting like crazy. We had the fastest growing team in our company, and all through organic marketing. And that is how I have built successfully since 2014. And I will tell you, I've also done the automated ways. I've invested into Facebook ads and automated funnels and email marketing campaigns and all those things. And here's the thing, you get into those programs and you get into working with those mentors, and they're not bad, they're not wrong. You yourself have to get with God and you've got to ask him, Lord, how do you want me to build my business? Because you see, where I stumbled and what took me long, and I'm going to talk with you a minute about the phases of faith, because this is what I realized, what took me so long to really kind of feel like where I'm like reached kind of that promised land, or I can see it, it's just right there. And he's like, just take it. It's here. It's for you. Is because I was trying to do everything on my own, out of my own strength. And I was trying to figure everything out. And I stopped seeking him. And so it truly is that verse when he says, seek first the kingdom of God, and then all these things will be added unto you. Got to realize, he made me realize that I had made my business an idol, meaning like I was just constantly thinking about it. I was constantly worried about it. I was constantly wanting to make sure everybody had what they needed and all the things were right. And then I also felt this like resentment towards people that I didn't feel like were doing what they're supposed to be doing, or my upline and things like that. And so it just was like not okay, and created some burnout. And so that's why we want you guys to not have to feel that burnout. Or if you have felt that, right, know that there's a whole other way that you can truly just build your business and still do it successfully. But you've got to seek God. I'm like, what's the best way for you? Is it through organic marketing or is it through automation? But you have to know, if you're going to do all the automated things, be prepared to not only invest into the coach and invest into the training, but be prepared that you also have to invest into all the other things that come with it, right? The websites, the time that it's going to take, the amount of money to run those ads, so that you can even grow an audience. So there's not a wrong way to do it, but there's a right way for you to do it. And that's the way that God calls you to do it. So that is like first and foremost what I want to tell you, because we can share with you, every coach can share with you, here's what's worked for me, but you've got to ultimately take and know what's in alignment with you, and how is God calling you? Like, seek him on, Lord, what platform do you want me to build on? Who, Lord, do you want me to serve? Who have you called me to market to? And he will start to reveal those things to you. And as you gain clarity, then we can give you the skills on, okay, great. Now we know your network. Let's go build that. Let me show you how to find them. Like, great. Now you know how you want to show up or which platform. Great. Now let me teach you the tools so that you can go and optimize your profile and really have leads and truly have organic leads just coming to you every single day, because that's what started happening. And that's what's possible. But, with that business I was in for 7 years, God called me to leave that business. And I wrestled with that like hardcore. And I was like, Lord, this is our other income. Like, this is what is helping me to provide for our family. And so it was something really hard, but we have to be women of faith who walk in obedience. And this network marketing profession is going to require your faith. It's going to require your obedience and really surrendering to the Lord your business and knowing that, God, I'm going to work this business, but you have to have wholehearted commitment into it, but also wholehearted commitment into the Father and like building your relationship with him, because then simultaneously you can move and work together to build your business, because you can do the work, right? And that's what's important. You have to create that wholehearted commitment within yourself that you're willing to do the work. You have to give something for God to work with, right? And then he's going to come around and give you the results. So I've always been simply the girl who wants to build a residual life and build a sustainable and long-time successful network marketing business where I get to serve and impact lives around the world. I want to know how many of you relate to that. I never needed to be a Kimberly Olson or a Ray Higdon or Sarah Robbins. Like, they are amazing, right? But I never needed to be that. We have to stay focused on what does God call us to and what's in your heart. And so what does it truly take? Last night, there was a lot of us women in here actually part of the Girl Power Alliance community, because it's an incredible place for Christian women to come together and get equipped for their calling, whether it's through professional development resources and training, or it's personal development, or it's spiritual development. And we get a lot of incredible coaching month after month, week after week. And so I knew that was something that I wanted to be a part of, because I wanted that ongoing education and that ongoing development and leadership, because that's key for you. If you're going to build a business, you have to be committed every day to growing yourself. And that's not selfish either. Like, I was just talking about this the other day in my stories, and God highlighted to me in scripture how he even talked to the religious leaders. And he said, you must first wash the inside of the cup before you wash the outside. So we have to make sure that we are growing and developing ourselves so that we can go out and then be more able to fully help others. So first of all, you have to come around the terms of network marketing, because I hear so many women that get caught up in being afraid of being a part of another MLM, or they're doing affiliate marketing. A lot of people are talking about, this is an affiliate marketing company, not MLM. Like, they're almost trying to say MLM is bad. Or people who are still, you might be, depending on who your network is right now, you might have people who still think like, is that pyramid scheme? Here's the thing, you guys. First of all, we have to understand the profession. Pyramid schemes are illegal, and most of them are pretty much gone or dead. Like, they have not been they're not functioning, and it's not even possible. Literally, because if you're a teacher, you work a full-time job, you're technically in a pyramid scheme, right? Now, affiliate marketing is great. Affiliate marketing can be wonderful to the fact that you're going to get paid off of your own efforts, right? And I personally love high ticket affiliate marketing, because you're going to get paid off your own efforts, but you're going to get paid well for the time you're investing. But a lot of times affiliate marketing is only going to be, you get paid once. Occasionally there might be some models out there where you can still get a little bit of residual, where every month you might say someone joins and you get like $50 every month or something like that they might be a part of that program or something. So there is some affiliate marketing, but that's really the main difference. Is affiliate is like that one-off commissions you get per person. But then there's network marketing, or what's called MLM, right? Multi-level marketing, that's where that peer-to-peer comes in. That is where you are now earning off of not only your own efforts, but now you're leveraging the efforts of others. But ladies, this is not something we should be ashamed of doing, because you truly are putting your time and energy into, well, I hope you're being an incredible sponsor, or that you want to be, and that you're going to put time and effort into helping build and grow other leaders. And you're going to turn around and be serving so many within your organization, right? That you deserve to get paid for that, because you are putting in that time and that mentorship, right? To be there with them and to help them, guide them along the way, or help get them connected to others. And to trainings and things like that. So really, MLM is just how you get paid. But here's the thing, now you can build it sustainably to where, and long-term, to where once you build that solid foundation, so that company I was with for 7 years, I built a solid foundation that first year. Whether I did anything else in my business after that, I mean, I could maintain and still make a pretty decent income year after year. I mean, that foundation I laid that first year paid me for 7 years. And then everything else on that was just additional, and I could just keep growing and growing and growing it. But you've got to lay that foundation first. If you truly want to build sustainably and long term, build the foundation, just like he says, build your house not on sand, on the rock. It's got to be firm. And so it's going to require you to put work in at the beginning. And when I left the company, I was like, Lord, what do you have for me? And so this is kind of gonna, I'm kind of jumping around and a little off of my notes because I just feel like the Lord is leading me in different ways. But you need to know the phases of faith because this will help you guys. One, there's the leaving phase. The leaving you have to learn and understand is that when you start a business and you have to develop that entrepreneurial spirit and mindset, this means you have to stop wavering and you have to stop allowing yourself to flounder. Go into James chapter 1. Like, I should have brought my Bible out here. Like, it literally changed my life, but it talks about how you must, if you want something, you have to ask for it, and you have to ask for it without doubting, without wavering, or you're just going to be tossed around like the waves of the sea. And the same with your decision making, right? If you have to decide that this is something you're going to treat as a business, and you're going to learn and study the profession. I've been learning and studying the profession. Like, I'm an expert in this profession. I've been studying it very wholeheartedly for the past 8 years. And so it is something that if you really want to grow, you and going to build as a leader, like, you're going to study, you're going to learn the skills, you're going to understand how it works. You're going to learn how to build relationships with people. And you, most importantly, you have to learn that and how to develop that entrepreneurial spirit within you and that mindset. And so part of that is like, we have to let go of anything and leave anything behind that is no longer serving us. It's those bad habits, it's those bad mindsets and the limiting beliefs. It's maybe sometimes people that we no longer should have in our corner because they're not healthy for us, or it's limiting. If you can't completely remove them from your life, it's maybe limiting your interaction, right? Or creating a safe space for you where you can have that time in that space to really focus and to really have a clear mind and to be and be able to work out of that inspiration. And a lot of times if I'm not feeling good, like, honestly, you guys say I wasn't not feeling good. Like, I think it was a little bit of a spiritual warfare, and I just kind of felt in a funk, and I knew, I was like, I just need to spend more time in the word. Like, God will refuel me and he will give me the words and give me what I need to keep me going. And so definitely go to, read James chapter 1, but you have to know, like, we literally are in the day and age right now. You have everything that you need, not only because you're a daughter of a king and you have the Holy Spirit dwelling within you. So you have that Holy Spirit empowerment, but you literally have everything you need to build your business well. And you have coaches, you have mentors, like, everything's at your fingertips. You just have to ultimately make the commitment and be disciplined and choose that this is what you're going to prioritize and this is what you're going to focus on. I think of the parable of the talents and how, right, he gave them, he's like, here you all go. He gave them all like the same thing in the same amount. And they all, two of them went out and they doubled what they had, right? So he gave more. But the one, he left it there because he's like, well, I didn't want to lose it, right? And this can go with a lot of people will get started and then you get stuck in overanalyzing and overthinking, worried about what someone else is going to think or say. Here's the thing. Most people probably aren't thinking about you. No offense, but they probably aren't thinking about you or worried about you or remember what you said yesterday. So even if like what you maybe posted wasn't great, who cares? Because guess what? You can post something else today and make it better and continue to improving. But you really want to be able to just, whether someone says no to you or yes to you, you almost have the same emotion. Like, if someone says no, darn it. Okay, well, no for now, or I'll follow up with them next time, right? You still schedule that. Like, it's just like, it's nothing. It doesn't interfere with your day or your mind, right? If someone says yes to you, you're like, awesome, great, let's get you started. But again, it's not, you're still moving forward. And so you're not being and letting the outside circumstances and other things coming in to hinder you and to ruin your day or ruin, because somebody says this or says that. I used to let that bother me so much. I was so caught up in like that perfectionism and wanting everybody to like love me, essentially, like that affirmation, right? You like someone who needs affirmation or confirmation that you're doing or saying the right thing. But the Lord, he reminds us in Galatians, he's like, don't work for man, work for me, right? That we do everything that we can do it for as if we're working unto the Lord, and the Lord loves you and he delights in you. And so he is going to guide you and direct you. It doesn't have to be perfect, but one thing is that you just cannot let all these outside circumstances and trials and tribulations, because they are going to come, and you are going to have no's and you're going to have yeses, and you're just got to keep moving forward regardless. Now, you as a coach and a mentor, here's the other thing, and well, maybe I'll actually come back to that. I'll circle back to this actually, but the other thing I want you guys to understand is that it's not selfish to build your business. And the Lord has really highlighted to me this too in Luke chapter 8. And I did talk to some of the ladies about this that are in my accountability coaching group, where I was like, he says, I should have brought my Bible out here, you guys, but go to Luke chapter 8. And he talks about, and this also in if some of you who's watching season 3 of The Chosen. So, and he talks about the women, and it just kept lighting me up because everyone's like, what are the women doing? What are the women doing? Are they coming with us? Because God's sending out his disciples, right? And he's like, they're going to stay back and they're going to build a business to help fund the ministry. And he says several women were funding the ministry out of their own resources. You guys, today, one of my dreams that I've had, that God is, and a vision God has placed on my heart of like what I could do with my business, is once I was able to get out of debt, once we were able to start putting in savings money into the things we have, right? And you're always tithing. Well, I like to say, this is from Jim Baker. He says, give, invest, and live on the rest. So give, like tithing your 10%, and then what can you and give away too? Like, where's that generosity? And I've been asking the Lord for years just to develop that spirit of and that heart of generosity, because I was in that lack mentality for so long. And I was that person who wanted to like just hide it all away because I didn't want anything to happen to it. And so today, for the first time, I was able to fund an orphanage for an entire month. And I don't say that to impress you at all. I say that to impress upon you, like, what is possible when you get focused and you start building your business and you let go and you leave behind anything that's not serving you anymore, and anything that's distracting you, and anything that is keeping you. And a lot of times it's your habits and your mindsets that is keeping you from being able to build your business. Because look what happens when you build your business. You now get to be a woman that's impacting lives through your products, your service, your opportunity, but you also can take that finances and be able to give into organizations and pour and sow into others to help them build their ministry and what they're doing. So it's not selfish. Like, you don't feel bad for making money and creating wealth. If you are in this profession, it's because God called you here. And what are we supposed to do in business? We are to be profitable, just like the Proverbs 31 woman. And so it is okay to create that wealth, and that money, that amount's going to look different for everybody, right? And he's going to give you what he trusts you with. So I had to, like I was saying, that first phase is leaving behind. And then you have to go into the next phase of faith, which is once you're getting through that, you're now might end up in that famine phase though. And I found myself in the famine phase when I was really just like I told you guys, I knew I had put my business though as too high on a pedestal, where I was trying to do everything out of my own strength and worrying so much about everything. So that's where that famine phase is going to come, kind of like the Israelites wandering in the desert place and in the wilderness, because they weren't being obedient, because they weren't trusting in him. And he was having to teach them lessons. So if you feel like it's taking longer than you thought it was going to take in your business, or you thought you should be somewhere else by now, go and ask the Lord what he wants you to learn in that season and what he wants you to learn from that, what needs to happen. Because there were a lot of things behind the scenes that I realized I had a lot of trauma to heal from that came up from when I was younger. I had to get stronger in my marriage. Like, if my husband and I were going to both build these successful businesses, like, we had to have a stronger marriage, stronger communication and relationships with each other. So I started pouring and sewing into that. We had to get also organized in our finances. Like, well, how can I expect God to give me more money and more abundance financially, if I don't even know where half my money is, or I'm not stewarding it well, or I'm saving too much but not giving any away, like what would be the purpose of me having more if I just keep it for myself, right? So he really started teaching me the principles, and that's because I invested. Again, I'm investing my time, my money, or getting mentors. I literally had like almost a mentor for everything I needed, which is another reason I love GPA, because I'm like, I have a mentor for anything I need, whether it's finances, whether it's my spiritual life, whether it's my marriage, I have it. But I was investing into people that could pour into me, that could teach me how to do these things well if I couldn't, because I wasn't obviously doing it well myself. And then he was most importantly teaching me how to trust him and believe him and know his character, and then know what my identity was in Christ. And that's what he wants for you too. He wants you to look at those areas of what is he inviting you into, because it's less about where you're going and the destination, and it's more about the process of and the time that you have encountering God. It's in those moments where you feel like you're in that famine or that desert land, and that's where you're going to get to encounter the Lord. And ultimately, that is what matters most. And so see what he is trying to teach you and how he's trying to build you. And I bet the sooner you learn the lesson or you really start shifting and allowing yourself to shift, the faster you will move into the the abundance, right? So then there's that, and that believing phase was so key. That's the next phase of faith that you have to develop as a network marketer, is you have to step into belief. You have to believe in yourself. A lot of people say, we'll believe in you until you believe in yourself. Yes, we will. But ultimately, the success comes from when you believe in yourself. When you believe in God and you believe in his goodness and his faithfulness, and you believe in you and what you're capable of through him. And so I stopped relying on my own strength because I wasn't having much of it. And I was stopped trying to get confidence from everybody else and having everybody else tell me how I should look, how I should sound, what I should do, when I should do it. And I got my confidence in Christ. He literally tells us our confidence comes from Christ. And when you know who you are and you know what he has for you and you believe the words, I started just believing what I was reading. I wasn't overthinking it and second guessing it. When I would hear thoughts, I would write them down, and I would then pray over them and believe what the Holy Spirit was speaking to me, and then start stepping into and becoming that woman that you truly are in Christ. That belief phase of faith is so key for you building a successful business, because people can tell if you are lacking confidence, or if you're just, your agenda is to only talk to them because you want to make a sale, right? Let me tell you guys, whether you are a service provider, or you are an MLM, or you're in affiliate marketing, or you're a social seller, I'm not like making fun of anyone or anything, but I'm saying it does not matter what you are in network marketing. It all requires similar skills. And if you are in network marketing, that means you are in relationship marketing. And if you want to build sustainably, you have to be able to build those relationships with others. But those relationships come when you are confident in yourself and when you are working on building yourself and becoming that woman. And how do you become that woman? Well, this is where I'm going to go into, right? Let me share, like, when you want to know, like, well, how do I build a business? How do I be successful in network marketing? Right? So I've given you kind of a lot of the things around that, like what do you need to put in place in your life, right? But you have to start your priority: one, keeping Christ at the center. Two, you got to build your influence. Well, you build your influence. This happens through your own personal growth. So I want to ask you guys, and what are you investing into every day for yourself? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you reading books? Are you getting into the word, right? You have to let the word get into you. Do you have a mentor? Are you going and getting trainings? Like, what is that? Not just provide, I'm not talking about just business training. That's important too. You've got to learn the profession. But are you, like, literally, it's so true. 80% of the business is right here. I will tell you, I've analyzed it pretty much with anybody that I've seen come in and do well in our business, is because they just move in action. They just go. And they're like, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fail along the way. It's okay. We're going to keep moving, and I'm going to learn the skills as I go. And so you build your influence when people can see your belief, because belief transfers trust. And you are to transfer transformation to people. That means talk about how is God moving and working in your life? How is God moving and working in the lives of women on your team? Or how is the product, right? Or how is the service? How is the opportunity? How is that making a change for people's lives? You've got to be able to share that and transfer that and commit every day to that personal and spiritual development, because that's what's going to allow you to then start showing up online confidently. Because I know you hear you got to show up, right? So the third thing is you have to show up consistently through your content and through your network. They've got to see you. And I don't mean just the friend zone, right? We do not want to get stuck in the friend zone. We're not just reaching out to say, hey, how's it going? Right? You need to reach out to be like, hey, how's it going? I see you're in XYZ, or I see you do this, or I know we connected because of this. I would love to know more about what you do, who you are, where does God have you focusing in this season? And then I would love to maybe see if there could be a great way we support each other or collaborate. So you've got to go in with that authority, and you've got to go in with also wanting to be intentional about the relationships you're building. Actually want to know about them, know about their situation, know what they're experiencing, what are they encountering, because then through that you can see what solutions can you offer. And that can lead to a conversation about your business. But if you're just getting in there to saying, hey, how's it going? And you're not leading with questions and you're not guiding that conversation, you're going to get stuck in that friend zone. The other thing is online, you've got to build your influence, right? You do show up consistently, but when you're showing up, again, everything is with intention. When you go live, you're like, hey, I'm Natalie. Hey, who's on here with me? Carletta. Hey, and I love helping you too. Like, what is that mission statement for you? You've got to get clear on who you want to serve and how you want to serve them. And so when you do that, this is going to help you actually show up confidently too, because now you can start curating your social media and building your network. Because for a long time, you guys, I was like, man, I swear my content's amazing. How many of you are like, my content's so good, but I'm not getting any leads, or no one's like converting, right? I felt that frustration too. I was like, what's going on? I'm making all these changes. I realized though that the network I was building with, that I thought they would be the right people. And so sometimes it's trial and error. You got to test things out, you guys, and you got to see what's working, what's not working. Be willing to go through that. But I realized I was like, these are women, they're Christian women. Cause I knew God called me, like he personally called me. He said, if you can talk about your business and your products this much, you can talk about me. And so he gave me the conviction that I needed to share my faith online, and that I needed to help other women like me who wanted to grow deeper in their faith. And so by that helped me grow. Like I was then getting into the word more. I was seeking out things to really learn more about God and who he was. And then how does that connect and relate to our business? How do we partner with him? And as I was learning that, I was able to go and help those women, because he knew there were so many women out there that wanted to do that. And so that's what he called me to do. So what is he calling you to do? What is he maybe convicting you of, or who, right? But I realized like, okay, I wanted to help Christian women, but I realized some of those women, or a lot of the people that I was at the time connecting to, and nothing bad about it, but they just weren't the women that were like wanting to invest or wanting to make changes, right? They loved studying God's word, but they weren't really wanting to like make any shifts in their life or in their skin or in their health. And so you also want to make sure you're finding and building your network with people who want what it is you have to offer. And so that's one of our favorite things to train about, is helping you build. I like to call it your vibe tribe, because then that's going to be fun when you know, wow, I got people who want to hear what I have to say are like in my network. And then you can also, you then will want to start showing, because I think about all the time when I read something, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to want to know about this. Like I have to share this with them. Like you're going to start getting excited because you now know who you're serving and why you're serving them and how you're going to serve them, because you have your offers, you have your mission statement and your purpose, and you have the who, right? And so that's going to help you show up consistently and with inspiration of like, yes, because they need to hear this. She's probably feeling this way too right now. Like I need to tell her what I just learned and how she can overcome that. Right. So your success will grow as you build your influence and as you grow in your leadership abilities. That means you're taking initiative, that you are raising your hand and being like, hey, let me help. Let me, do a presentation. Like I was doing presentations all the time from the beginning. Like since month one of me building my business, I was like, what can I do? How can I help? I want people to see my face, right? Because you want to build that know, like, and trust with your commitment. When I started my high ticket business, I was like, sign me up for a training, like, because you're going to start learning it even more as well. But then as your people are going to see, oh, she's like leading in this group or she's leading this training. That's amazing. Okay. And you're going to learn and you're going to grow in those leadership skills and those abilities. But you've got to be intentional because see, leaders don't create followers. I do not care how many followers are on my accounts. I care more about, am I building up other women? Am I building up other leaders? Do I have quality over quantity? And you have to help also pour into your team and pour into the women that you're coming and see how you can lead them. Because I realized I was also, when my team didn't grow, I was like, why is my team not growing? Like, it seems like we get one, we lose one, we get one, we lose one. Like, what is happening? And it's because I was doing all the work. I was not helping anybody else become a leader. I naturally just want to do that. I'm naturally driven. And so if you're not, if you know that about you, you can develop that along the way. You can start being like, again, raise your hand, take initiative. Do you have a question? Do you want something? Do you want to help? Do you want to step out of your comfort zone? You can do that. But I had to go and realize like, oh, I need to help like bring up other leaders. I need to find those that like, I can just push them a little bit more. I can pour into them a little bit more. And then I can ask them, hey, would you introduce me on this? Or, hey, would you mind leading this call tonight? Or, hey, would you mind making the welcome flyer for her? Right? Start helping them teach and learn those skills. Then you've got to keep your goals in front of you daily and activate those scriptures. Like I have it written what I want to do. And I have those affirmations around from the scriptures and I'm saying them, I'm reading them. I've recorded myself before so I can listen to it on YouTube. I made a little private video for myself so I could just listen if I can't read it or don't want to read it. But you've got to remember what it is you are working for. And that'll also evolve. So allow yourself to dream big with God and to let God like give you visions in your heart. Like me being able to give to that orphanage, that didn't come from me. That was something God gave to me because I said, God, when I'm creating wealth, like what do you want me to do with that money? Who do you want me to give it to? And before I give, I'm like praying over it and I'm doing my best, right? I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I don't know if I'm always doing the right thing, but I'm doing my best to just discern the Holy Spirit on that. And I'm also not feeling bad about working for what I'm getting. How many of you have struggled with working for and being worried about like hustle and grind versus operating in rest? So I know I've struggled with that because I am a go-getter. And I have always been someone who's like, if you give me something to work towards and I'm like excited about it, I mean, I do like getting I was someone who wanted to win the championship always. Like I was athletic. I was, so I have a lot of like competition and competitiveness, inside of me naturally. And so I like if there's something there that I can run towards, like that does help motivate me. So you have to find what will motivate you. But I know that I struggled with like, I don't want to be in this hustle and grind though anymore because I've done that. I've been there. I don't want to be on the hamster wheel. I want to operate in a spirit of rest. Like, what does that feel like? What does that look like? And here's the thing that God's taught me is like, you're still working. It's just the working now is you're not working out of burnout. You're not working out of stress. You're not working out of the overwhelm, right? You're not working and feeling like everything is chaotic around you. When you're operating in rest is you are operating with your spirit and it's more like a flow. So like I can go teach all day. Now, not every day. Again, I am not perfect, you guys. I have bad days. But a lot of times I have learned that I can go from school and then right away shift into business. And then right away, okay, let's do dishes or let's watch a movie. Like, what are you doing? Have a conversation with your husband. And there are things I could be better at, but it's like you're flowing through your day without being like, oh my gosh, I have this to do and letting it overwhelm you. It's like, God, okay, I have these things to do today. So help me through it. But you just have a whole different mindset shift about it. And here's what else. I'm going to put it into scripture because again, I was like, I feel like I need to work hard, Because if I'm not working hard, but it's more about working diligently and working with that urgency and that passion, and less about that hustle, right? Of like, oh, I just got to stay up till 3 a.m. and I got to grind it out every day, right? We're not glorifying the hustle and the grind, but we are, whatever we're doing, we are working heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Proverbs says the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing. I had to come to terms with, there were times in my business where I wasn't really doing the work. I got comfortable. I was in a place, and that's what we talk about in our devotional, is you've got to get out and move out of complacency. Because you get there and all of a sudden you realize like, oh, you're thinking everything's just going to move for you because you maybe lifted one finger. We can't expect that. We've got to give something for the Lord to work with, right? It's that partnership. And so we can't be lazy about it. We have to be, and it says, Proverbs 13:4, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. Proverbs 14:23, in all toil meaning work, there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. So too many of us are saying we want to impact lives. We want to have financial freedom. I want to have 10K months. But are you actually willing to do what it takes to have 10K months? How many of you work full time? I can't see all the comments right now, but are you working full time? You guys, it's going to take wholehearted commitment if you want to get out of that job. And I can't tell you when you're going to get out of that job. Like I said, I'm teaching 11 years. I knew after 3 years of teaching, I did not want to teach for the rest of my life. But God hasn't called me out of that profession yet. I can tell he is now. So the timing is all in God's timing. But either way, it's going to require your wholehearted commitment. And it's going to require you getting out of that leaving phase, moving into the famine, get through that famine phase as fast as you can because of your obedience and your trust and your faith in the Lord. So you get to that phase of belief. And then sometimes it requires death. Death is the next phase. The death for me was I had to completely cut off that business I'd built for 7 years. And that was, I loved it. And I was sad that it wasn't where I was going to get to be. And I was like, well, Lord, why are you taking this away from me? But he's like, daughter, I have more for you. And that's what he's saying to you too. There's something in your life right now that you got to cut off. That death has to come for it. Because what happens after death, you guys? Resurrection. And that resurrection can come, that new life, because you are new life in Christ. And he has something bigger and better for you. And I can see it now. Like he's like, this was your starting off phase. This is where I was helping build you up. This is how I was helping teach you and train you and help you to learn how to abide in me. Now, I want you to take that and I need you to put it over here. And he literally, like all my prayers I prayed, I now have, for me personally, and for many women I've talked to, has come in the form of like our Girl Power Alliance community. Is literally vision after vision just coming to life and sprouting up. My high ticket business helping us to hit those income goals faster than ever before. So what is it for you? What is God placing in front of you and saying, daughter, I have it for you here. I just need you to let go of that other thing. I just need you to leave that place you're in. I need you to cut that off so that I can give you what I've had for you. It's like the Israelites. He's like, the promised land is right here. I've given it to you. It's yours to conquer. And I was in so much fear for a while I wrestled with it, you guys, and wasn't obedient right away. So it took me longer to get where I needed to go. But it was like the Israelites, because they complained and they're like, well, what if this? What if that? And so he's like, okay, then I guess you can wait a little longer. So you have to evaluate, like, where are you at in your life and what is God saying? Because death does not mean defeat. It's actually, now you're ready to land in the space of victory, right? That space of abundant life through Christ. And so I would just encourage you to explore that with the Lord. And like Second Thessalonians says, for even when we were with you, we would give you this command. If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. For we hear that some among you walk in idleness, not busy at work, but busy bodies. So here's the other thing. When you're building your business, It is so easy to get caught up in the creative things, right? Making all the pretty flyers, welcoming everybody in, like, or making all these pretty videos or fun things, right? Can I just tell you, you're wasting your time. All these edits, all these things that you're doing, like, unless you just gotta, I mean, it goes back to, you gotta know how you want to build your business and how you want to stand out online. But I'm telling you, most people, they don't want to sit there and watch all these 45 transitions to see a picture come and then a picture fade and all this stuff, right? Like, they want to know who you are, what you have for them, and what you can do for them, and what's going on in your life, right? So I want to encourage you, just literally don't get stuck in that busybody. Don't get stuck too in, like, yes, you need to have an organized space. You need to have declutter. You need to get things in order, but also don't let that become a task that now it takes you away from your priorities of the day, right? Make that a priority for one day, get it done, and move on. And so don't just busy yourself. That's where procrastination comes in. So we don't want to be the hands of idleness. We don't want to fall into that trap of laziness, or of thinking that we're working, but not really working, right? Getting on social and you're just scrolling. Set a timer, scroll for 15 minutes, and engage intentionally. Go through their stories, leave comments, get into their messenger. Then you're done. Put good on, post your content, get off. Okay. And whatever you do, commit your work to the Lord. Partner with him, and your plans will be established. So the other thing I want to kind of debunk is, they say you're gonna, people like, it's easy and effortless and all this, right? It can be, but just know, he says you will go through trials and tribulations in life and in business. Things are going to come your way, but no matter what season you're in, no matter what's going on in your day, hold yourself accountable to your non-negotiables. Be in alignment with your core values and have your priorities. One of your priorities every day, or almost every day, should be about your business. If you're going to say that I am wholeheartedly committed to building this business because I know God has called me to it, you've got to make it a priority of your day, like within your day somewhere. And stop glorifying the busyness, right? Like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm so busy today. Like, I was talking to somebody that I think should be amazing for my business, but every time she talks to me, she's like, I'm so busy. I have so much going on. I have this. Girl, no, you're not. We're all busy. We all have stuff going on. But if you truly want to grow a business, you're not going to be too busy to make sure you're doing the work that you need to get done that day. So what do you do? How do you move into now that last phase of faith? And we want to be in that resurrection. We want to be moving forward and towards God's dream for us. And we want to be building a wildly successful, profitable business online. Now, that might look different for everybody, right? It might mean $500 a month for you. It might mean 10,000. It might mean you're going to be a millionaire. I don't know what that looks like for you. God will give you those desires. But if we're going to build as a Jesus-loving boss babe, it is not for the faint of heart. It's like you're a disciple. You are in discipling. You're discipling women, or I am, at least. You maybe have men for you too, but you are discipling, and you are, every day you're thinking, who am I here for? And how am I going to show up? God will tell you where to show up. What platform are you going to build on? Like, if you can't do it all, guys, don't do it all. Please don't. Pick one. If you have not been building consistently on one platform, then you better not be on 3. Choose one platform that you can consistently grow and build an audience on. I would suggest you'd start with Facebook, because Instagram is this kind of like going down. The trends are like not great. I wouldn't say it's going down, but I would say for network marketing, you're probably the most bang for your time invest is going to happen on Facebook. And I know a lot of people loving TikTok. I'm loving it. It's just not my number one. Okay. So where is God calling you to focus? Where is he going to give you the fruit? And then you start showing up for her, love on her, give to her, give her value, show her how you can help her, transfer that trust, transfer your knowledge, transfer the transformations that people are having. Stop selling. Don't let everything be. here's what I tell people, be 80% business, meaning business focused. Not 80% of your posts are going to be, look, I have this, buy this, do that, right? We're not selling them, but you're promoting. We talk about this in GPA, engage, promote, repeat, because you've got to engage with your culture, with your team, with the resource, whatever you're doing, whatever you're learning, you've got to master that. But then you promote, you got to be a good master promoter of, this is what I'm doing. Show them, document your day. If you're not sure what to put for content, document your day and then pick what you want to pick after that, right? Be proactive in your scheduling, not reactive. Proactive means you've got to choose your personal management system. We can give you, like, here's what works for us, but you've got to choose what works for you that you can hold yourself accountable to. And again, that comes with wholehearted commitment. You've got to be disciplined. Write that word down, disciplined. It's important in this industry. And then you guys, please follow up. Following up is the most important thing you can do. This is where, because you're going to be exposing and nurturing those people who are coming to you. You got to be very intentional, know what you're going to give them, where you're going to place them. Like, you're in charge of that. You're guiding that conversation, and you're also casting vision into them. You're telling them, this is what I see in you and what I think is possible for you. But you've got to schedule those follow-ups every time. Let them know you're going to come back and check in, or you're going to come back and get their feedback, answer any questions that they have. That's almost all the people that join me come because I followed up with them. You've got to follow up. That's where you lose most of the people if you're not following up. And then I would just say, lastly, these last couple things is, and I've kind of already said it, but you've got to take ownership. You've got to take that initiative, especially with your upline, with your downline, with your business and the skills you're developing. There is a skill set. It's not you. There is a skill set that comes with this profession, with this industry. So don't be afraid to learn the skills. Learn how to build your network intentionally. Learn how to create content. Okay, that's important. But take ownership. Take initiative, and let's not make excuses, right, anymore, and say, all right, Lord, let's do this, right? Get that vision and then go for it. Be bold and make it happen. Go for it. He's got you, right? If you know this is what you're called to, he's got you. Get in the inbox of your upline, because you guys, I love everybody. I'm that person who I wish I could talk to everybody all day, every day. But if you are a leader and you have a large team under you, you have to also be careful that you're also not just spending all your time talking to your team, because then you're not building your business. So you always have to prioritize your personal business first, because you've got to be leading by example. But then that's why it's important that you, as a teammate, you need to reach up and to your upline. You need to be in their inbox, become their best friend, get to know each other, right? But when you need something, reach out to them, see if you can find the answer yourself. And if you can't, or you just want to tell her hey, I'm ready to go, let's lock arms. I guarantee you, if they're like me, they're going to be there for you 110%. But you've got to be the one to saying hey, I'm ready, let's go. So as we wrap up, I just want you guys to, I hope that this just kind of just laid it out there for you, gave you some things to really think about, to really seek God on, and some of those action steps, which is really if you want to grow, that influence is going to be important. And that influence comes with you growing yourself. And so here are some resources I can give you. Is one, knowing, if you want to know who you're wanting to serve and how you're wanting to serve them, and really uncover that purpose and your mission statement. Because it says in 2 Peter, be diligent to confirm your calling. When you confirm your calling in this online space and in your business, you guys, you're going to have so much passion. It's going to re-spark that passion in your life and in your business, and you're going to be able to move forward with that conviction and that urgency, right? Not the hustle, but that urgency and that excitement. And so when you are diligent to confirm your calling, then you are going to have that confidence that's going to come and be key. And then you'll know what content to post and how to post it. All the things will start to come. But we can teach you this. So we have a couple of things. We have inside of our Girl Power Alliance community. And some of you guys that are in here, you can feel free to talk about what you've gotten out of the community. Feel free to share that. But you can have access to, and here's what we're going to have access to, the Residual Life course. We just had an incredible coaching call. So you'll get access to that coaching call from Michelle Schaefer, who has been living the residual life for 20 years and is made multi-millions in the industry. And I love her because she is kingdom driven all the way. So she has her book. You can get that, The Residual Life. And then you can get her Residual Life course and her 1-hour coaching. You also can get our Build Your Kingdom Impact Network Marketing Business. And we're going to help you with building your network, building and optimizing your profile, knowing your brand and what your mission is, and then how to show up on social media in a way that's in alignment for you and is helping you to build that influence and that credibility. And then you'll have, if you do VIP, you're going to be able to have access to our accountability coaching chat with me, and you're going to be able to receive a live vision casting session we're going to be setting up for those VIP members, and a game planning Zoom call that I will help you with. So I want to help you gain clarity and move forward with faith and action. And so really it just requires, like, what do you need next? So if you want to get that training, if you want to really start just building yourself personally, spiritually, professionally, then I recommend you start with GPA. And I recommend you go through the Residual Life course. You let us help you. You let us guide you. You go through the network marketing business coaching. And then we're going to have an incredible coaching program that you're going to also get after that, coming from my friend Tasha Smith. And we're going to get her coaching, because you see, women in the industry are collaborating together and you're getting to learn from the best. And so I would recommend that. You can drop GPA to get that. Other resources I have for you from some amazing books that I've loved are Holly Gross book, You're Made for a God-Sized Dream. The Residual Life, of course, I said. Customer First is a great one. And my favorite one so far has been What Happens When Women Say Yes to God and Walk in Faith. So those would what I would I definitely recommend getting connected to resources, getting connected to mentorship, and ultimately you making that wholehearted commitment to really growing and rising as a leader, rising to your purpose, and knowing that you are made for more, and that you truly can go after those God-sized dreams, and that this business, your network marketing business, can be a vehicle for that. So I hope this encouraged you. I know it went like so long, you guys. It was crazy, but I love you and I want to give you the best. And so whatever comes is coming. I try and stay to my notes, but all the downloads come and you just start talking. So we'll probably put this also on our podcast, Rise to Your Purpose. So you can always check it out there. And then I will send out the replay as well. But love you, ladies. I can't wait to connect with you more, and stay tuned for next time. We got a special announcement too coming for you tomorrow of a new trainer coming into our community for you. So, all right, I will talk to you ladies later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We would love to hear from you. So please share your takeaways by tagging @LiveVictorious over on Instagram and leave a review.
This will help us get more visibility and reach more women like you for the kingdom. We appreciate you and are praying for you as you shine your light in the business world and rise to your purpose.